Peace. Kofa, G.R.O.W.T.H podcast. Wake your glass up. What's going on, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Today is August 22nd, 2023, the year of our Lord. The time is now 7:35 p.m. in the lovely city of Atlanta, Georgia. That is Eastern Standard Time. My apologies. I was a little bit late. Had some technical issues right when I was getting ready to go live at 7:30. So I had to fix those, smooth it over, and then slide it live over to 7:35. So we in here now. Appreciate everybody being in here. This is G.R.O.W.T.H podcast, where we help men find a positive fuck it. Growth stands for gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. I am your host, Kofa, right there on the screen at the bottom. Kofa, not coffee, not kufu, not Kofi, or any variation thereof. Kofa rhymes with sofa. Easy to say, easy to spell. Again, give yourselves a round of applause for being in here.
Down, man down. Mama, there goes that man. You go, girl. Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man. Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Check. Thank y'all. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the last thing is y'all heard. This microphone is pissing me off because it has a mind of its own. Let me go back. Let me run through it. Let me see. Albo said, yeah, can't hear you. I think we all good now. You said you could hear the music, but not me. I don't know. This microphone's so fucking sensitive. If I touch this bitch, it go on mute. So I think we're good now. I'm watching my levels. We good. There we go. All right, cool. Alboski dropped. I'm gonna get back to my spiel in a minute, but Alboski dropped a $2 super chat. Brother, you already know what time it is. I appreciate you. Let's go here. Look, he says for the audio fun. And I got a good ass mic, man. Look, I got the I got the Shure mic. I got the expensive joint. But this motherfucker is sensitive. So anytime I think if I adjust my mic and I grab it like that, I must be hitting the mute button or something. I don't know what the hell. Or maybe it thinks I'm clipping and it'll just mute the mic itself. But we here. But Alboski got jokes with the $2 super chat for the audio fund, bro. I got you.
These last $2.
Boy, y'all ain't shit. But I appreciate y'all. God damn it. I don't know what the hell happened. Cujo in the building. What's going on, good, bro? But let me get back to my spiel. What I was saying was, I would be remiss if I said I was doing red pill, manosphere, men-centric content, and all I did was talk about the women. I know that's gonna get the clicks. I know that's gonna get the likes. I know that's gonna do that. I can do that shit all day. Y'all done been in here. Y'all done seen me rant before. I can go in on these bras like no other.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
But I would be remiss again if I didn't show you the other side of Kofa that got my mind right as far as conversations and dealing with women and life in general goes. Broker Traditions, I got you, bro. I appreciate you chipping in from afar. Back to what I was saying. So this is going to be a little bit more philosophical, a little bit more deeper. We're going to nerd out a little bit. Because my thing is, I'm tired of men, black men in particular, just walking around just totally oblivious in life. We look at things on face value, and I know that's our community at large. But in order to be better men, we're going to have to start taking a deeper look at these things and start peeling these layers. Everybody's going to have their different philosophies, different ways of looking at things. You see, Kevin Samuesl wasn't the same way as Obsidian. Obsidian isn't like Dr. T.H. Dr. T.H. isn't like Kofa. Kofa isn't like Broker Traditions. Broker Traditions isn't like Painful Excellence. Painful Excellence, shout out to Drew. He's not like a Mona D. I mean, for obvious reasons, he's not a woman. But, Mona D isn't the same as Almanize and, these different branches of this YouTube family that we're all building. Plus, we got the huge YouTubers that we're looking at. Lead Attorney. Who else? One of my favorite brothers that gets real deep and philosophical with it. Immortal Mind. Shout out to him.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So we can go on and on. O'Shea Duke Jackson, Angry Man. We can go on and on and on. Everybody got something to bring to the table. So I'm going to start giving y'all a different side of Kofa. It's not just going to be on these women. I can bang on these hard head bras all damn day. But we got to get a little bit deeper, look a little bit further into who we are as men. And I'm not even talking about as far as relationships. I showed y'all yesterday, it's not just the romantic relationships, right? These are our family members, our homegirls, our sisters, all that shit. So who are you as a man? So tonight we're going to get, before I talked about the Sigma male, the lone wolf. Tonight we're going to get into, again, kind of the lone wolf thing, but from a different angle. We're going to talk about Ronin samurai. I'll give you the definition. We're going to watch a couple of reaction videos, have a little bit of fun with it, nerd out to some Afro samurai, because that may be the extent. I don't know how many nerds I have in here, but I love this historical stuff. A lot of my personal philosophy, a lot of these things have not changed as far as people being people. Society changed, technology, things like that. But we're still moving in a similar path. A lot of the bullshit we think we own is just because we're on camera and it's recorded. We go back and look through history, as we'll get into tonight. We're going to see some bullshit as well, but these men had to stand tall. And the Ronin, I'll get to that in a second. Let me pivot real quick. Get to some of y'all comments. Let me get to that super sticker from Broken Traditions. He trolling again. A banana.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Shout out to Art Belly. I don't have nothing for 99 cents for $1, bro, but I appreciate you and you know that. Let's keep on going. Let me see. Everybody speaking. Ty in the building. What's going on, good bro? Oh yeah, man. I thought you was still up there smoking, bro. Yeah, this my partner Ty. I told y'all these be my people in here. I'll let y'all know when these are my people, like that I know in person. Y'all my people too, but this my smoking partner. But shout out to Ty.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
Mona D says, I agree. I have to take a break from going in on the women. My head be hurt.
You go, girl.
Look, and there's another black woman saying that. So if she tired of talking about these dizzy assholes, how the fuck you think I feel all the time? We can do it all day, but we're going to get a little bit deeper. Like I said, get a little bit philosophical, historical, nerd out a little bit. But first things first, I want to show y'all something I am proud of. I'm still trying to connect it to the lives and things like that. I think I got to hit that 4,000 watch hours. But speaking of which, almost there. I should hit it by the end of the week. I'll be fully monetized. I told y'all my goal is to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So December 31st. That's my ask of y'all, is to help push the channel. Hit like, share it, have the conversation, show people the channel when you're at work, different things like that. Of course, Cash App, PayPal. Again, the boy is baby monetized, so you can go ahead and drop them super chats as well. But let's get into something that I am proud of. I told you G.R.O.W.T.H Entertainment was a thing. G.R.O.W.T.H Entertainment LLC is a thing, a legitimate business. I showed y'all the paperwork. Now we got the website the way. All right, bam. So this is the website. I got the merch up. We starting out small, but you see what it says. Thanks for choosing us. Look around and buy stuff. As you can see, the hoodie on. Let me slide that out the way. Stop lying on black men with a little noose around, because we know what that leads to in America when black men get lied on. But here you go. Got a little small monogram sticker with the Grove logo. Probably going to be updating the logo soon. And y'all asked for it.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Y'all got it. Hotter than fish grease. There go your hoodies. I'm starting out with hoodies because it's already starting to get cool. It was hot as hell here in Atlanta, but it is dropping down to like the very low 70s, high 60s, kind of early for us, because usually it really doesn't get cold here and stick until like December, but I'm noticing a change. Then we got your salute hoodie. When we break down the definition of salute, we always say it. So make sure you understand. I am a military member. I know some other brothers are prior military as well. So it's a right hand gesture of respect, homage, and acknowledgement, especially one made to or by a person when arriving or departing. Let's go back. And what we got? That was the Stop Lying on Black Men hoodie, the one I'm wearing now. So y'all see it. Y'all go ahead and snatch that up. I already ordered mine. I put my money where my mouth is. So I ordered my hotter than fish grease hoodie last night. Can't wait till it get here. Then I got your wake your glass up hoodie. We're going to start off slow, like I said. And the coffee mug. Y'all go ahead and cop that coffee mug. Perfect for your working ventures when you got to put in that work late. My other content creators, when y'all up late editing and doing things like that, wake your glass up. So bring it back on me. There we go. Now I'm getting back to y'all comments. Hold on. Let me move that out the way. Bam. Heard a bunch of comments coming in. Let me get to them, and then we're going to start getting to the content. Where we at? JC in the building. What's going on, good bro?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Derek Gaines in the building too. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Felicia?
You go, girl.
Let's see. Mona says, make sure y'all watch Kofa's videos and stick around for the stream. I appreciate you, sis. I really do. Alboski says, I rock with Samurai Champloo and Basilis, the Kagura Ninja Scroll. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember Ninja Scrolls. JC says, congrats. I appreciate it. There again says cigars. I'm not sure what you mean. I may have missed something. Am I going to have like cigar apparel, cigar merch? You know that's coming if that's what you're asking, DJ. DG. Mona D says, hey, congrats on Kofa on the merch. I need to get my store set up.
You go, girl.
Yep. Damn. It's 99 there? God damn. God bless y'all. Mona D says, can we get a pink one or am I pushing it? I'm gonna look out for the ladies. I do have other merch. So real quick, while I got y'all attention on the merch, I started out with another company called Priorities, and I was pushing that. And then I started doing the YouTube. Now I realized I could merge the two together. So I got rid of priorities. I'm going to focus on Growth Talk. So yeah, Mona, I do have apparel for the ladies. DG says all my favorite YouTubers go live at the same time. All good, bro. I just asked you open up a window. You can mute me and listen to everybody else. Just let this motherfucker run and let me get them watch hours and hit like and subscribe. With that said, now we're going to get into the content. I appreciate everybody. Y'all make sure y'all go. I put the link in the description so you guys can click on it. Go ahead and get your hoodies. Go ahead and get them as gifts for people. Yeah, I already know it's starting to get cold, especially for those of y'all up north. Y'all gonna get it sooner than we are down here in the South. But let's get into this tonight. We're gonna be talking about the Black Ronin. The title of the stream is, how black men mostly walk alone. So we're gonna talk about fatherlessness, not having a master. That's what a Ronin is. We'll get into the deeper definition, but a Ronin is a masterless samurai. Again, just having to walk that path alone. What friends? Do you have a brotherhood? Can you persevere? Can you stand on your own? Again, it's the lone wolf theory, the Sigma theory, the Ronin theory. The Ninja Turtles, and then nerded out. They just spun off into the last Ronin. It's only one turtle left. All the other three brothers, Master Splinter, they gone. So now he's by himself. He has no master. There's the concept of there's a Ronin character. Excuse me, not concept. There's a character named Ronin in Marvel Comics. There's also a very famous story that we're going to look at before we close out called the 47 Ronin. And we're going to bring it all together. But right now, let's get into this definition, and then we'll get into, some other topics as well, as far as Ronin and brothers being able to walk alone.
Behind the law. When legend speaks of the samurai, it recalls a mighty warrior creed who for hundreds of years were the world's greatest soldiers. Indeed, the age of the samurai began in feudal Japan and lasted until 1868, not that long ago. But this is not that story. No, today, spectators of myth, we delve deep into centuries past and examine a class of samurai considered persona non grata. Ronin explained. Like the Spartans before them, the life of the samurai was hard and strict. They were honor-bound to protect, live, and battle alongside their master, known as a daimyo. And
pause it real quick. This video is real short just to give the definition of what a Ronin is. But I want y'all to pay attention to the language of the videos that I'm using. Words like honor, duty, respect, things that we still have to apply to this day as men, but so many of us have even lost that thought process. And I'm a blacken it up a little bit when we get further into the stream, but I just wanted to point that out. Make sure you're paying attention and listening to those particular words that sometimes get thrown around loosely and people really don't understand the definition and what comes with having a duty or being honor bound to something or someone that's bigger than yourself.
if this leader die, so must they as well, via a ritual called seppuku. But not all chose to do so. No, spectators of myth, some chose to live. They were the Ronin. This translates roughly to vagrant. They were considered as base individuals who had forsaken Bushido, the way of the samurai. Indeed, the life of a Ronin was hard. These lost samurai were by law not allowed to farm, craft, trade, or work in other professions. A disgraced Ronin would often fall into poverty and a life of crime. Many Ronin, as the name implies, would drift from place to place in search of a living. Few would have found work as bodyguards for the era's mega rich, while others would carve out a career as a sword for hire, a mercenary. But many Ronin became cutthroats, bandits, and mobsters, except, legend has it, for a particular vengeful 47.
Bring it back on me real quick. He just mentioned the 47 Ronin. That's what we're going to put a bow on this with. But I wanted, again, to point out, so now you know the definition. Those were the samurai that had a master. Something happened to the master. If the master got killed in battle or the master was disgraced, the Ronin had to commit seppuku, basically self-deletion, where they would take a blade and run it inside of themselves across their stomach like twice to make sure their bowels, that way they died an honorable death. Because, and we'll get into it in the next couple of next videos. But if they didn't do that, they didn't have any honor. So that samurai position was a high position, even though they weren't a lord or something like that. That was a high position. If they lost that position or they died without honor, then their family had the land stripped. This is why I'm talking about the Black Ronin. How many times do black men put the weight of the world on their fucking shoulders? And a lot of people don't understand that. I was just explaining that. I think I was explaining it to my daughter, actually, that it's so much that I've done for her that she will never know that I'm taking to the grave. And I had to put it in context because she is, as y'all know, she's a grown woman now. She's an adult now, a young adult. She really still don't know a lot of shit. But I had to put it so she could understand that when she's talking to these young men and stuff like that, it's a lot of them that are good men. They're just young and they don't have the tools necessary to be a solid boyfriend or husband right now, because he's still in the mind state of taking care of his mama, taking care of his family. And his family includes his mama, his younger siblings, his grandmama, things like that. This is where the danger comes in a lot of times with the son husband, because we look at the duty of doing it, but we don't know how to execute it, if that makes sense to everybody. Sometimes brothers just work themselves into the ground and they become identified with this one thing. They don't know how to do anything else. You heard just in there when they talked about the Ronin, when they lost their master and some opted out of hell. Just because he died, I'm not killing myself, I'm gonna be a Ronin. They were known as a samurai. Now he's a masterless samurai. He can't do shit else. Nobody's gonna allow him to fish in their village. He can't be a farmer. He can't be a welder, because basically, nigga, this is what you do. You a samurai. You can't come over here trying to do X, Y, Z. When have you ever lifted a bale of hay? When have you done this? That's all you know is how to be a samurai. So hell no. And plus you're going to try to come over here and take somebody else's job. Doesn't that sound like some shit in real life? Okay, now you've been running the streets your whole life. Or you've been over here, you've been a mechanic your whole life. Now you're trying to switch it up. Or you've been stocking your whole life. Now you're trying to switch it up and go into another field of study. And it's always difficult. And a lot of men just end up falling out of it. And I love the story of the 47 Ronin. They'll get into it in a second, in a little bit. But a lot of men just fall out the rat race. They go from being just consumed by the rat race to falling out of the rat race and becoming bums. And like you said, vagrants and criminals a lot of times. That's still the same thing that goes forward. So I wanted to explain what a Ronin was. That's why the title is what it is. It's so many men, black men out here walking alone, trying to feel our way through it. We got the skill set. A lot of us are good at different things. We have the skill set, but yet and still we're walking alone, right? And oftentimes when you're in a samurai group, like a platoon, like you got your crew, everybody not going to stay together just because, you know, the master died, and we're not going to keep that same bond. That's why I say, what friends? Where's your brotherhood? Let me slide over to the comments real quick. Where we at? I think I'm all caught up. BT says that makes sense. Yep, tunnel vision. Jay Will in the building. What's going on, good bro?
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
Broken Tradition says that's a great breakdown. I appreciate it, bro. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of the fun stuff with Afro Samurai. I'm gonna play a clip from the villain in Afro Samurai. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna pause it and break it down again. I'm gonna blacken it up for us because I know everybody's not in tune to ninjas and samurai and sci-fi and fantasy and superpowers and shit like that. I always thought that shit was dope as fuck. I used to love watching my kung fu movies on Saturday morning after cartoons went off, 12 o'clock. My dad might come in and watch his westerns. I might go outside and play, or I might go in the other room and start watching my kung fu movies. That's when I got introduced to martial arts and different stuff like that as a kid. So I've always been in love with the culture, always been in love with the duty and honor and respect that it garnered when you put in that much work as a martial artist. Let me see. So now let's get into the Afro Samurai. I'm gonna pause it right when I started to kind of explain it.
You think it's mere coincidence?
Bring it back a little bit. Listen to the first sentence this man says to Afro Samurai. So this is the dude that Afro Samurai spends his time chasing the entire movie. We'll get into a deeper explanation in a little bit, but I just want you to hear how he talks to this young black man that's on this mission.
You think it's mere coincidence you don't have a father, friend, or master? All of them were sacrificed.
Pause that real quick. Is that not what we have going on in our community? You think it's just mere coincidence? You don't have a father? You don't have no friends? No real friend? Not some niggas you smoke with. I'm using the N word on purpose, BT. Not just some niggas you smoke with. But you don't have no friends. You don't have a master. In short, you don't have a mentor. You don't have a coach. You don't have nobody guiding you through this shit. You think that's all by coincidence, or is it by design, black man? I need y'all, when y'all looking at this stuff for entertainment, whether it's anime, any movie, I don't care what you're looking at. Try to find a deeper meaning in it. Find a purpose other than just killing 2 hours. I'm going to let it keep on running. But that's the first thing he said to him when he rolled up on him. Because this is the guy he's trying to get revenge on. We'll explain it a little bit later for those that don't know. But let's keep on going.
You stand before me now for the same reason. Destiny designed me to possess all the headbands. Now you get it. You don't gotta just have the one. You gotta have them all. Then and only then will ultimate power be bestowed from a mystery beyond human understanding. I think you...
Pause it again real quick. He's talking about these headbands. We'll flesh it out some more. This is a short clip, I promise you. We'll flesh out the headbands some more, but basically he's telling you, you got to have everything. So in the world of Afro Samurai, there's two major headbands. There's a number 1 and number 2. In order to be able to challenge the number 1 guy and be the best fighter, be the best in the hood, you have to be in possession of the number 2 headband. Everything else is irrelevant. You either number 1 or number 2. And the person that has the number 2, everybody's coming for that headband because they want to be number 1. But the law of the land is you cannot challenge number 1 if you don't have the number 2 headband. So the dude that's running around with the number 2 headband, he constantly looking over his shoulder. He looking for ops. What does that sound like? Oh, nigga, you got the Jordans, you got the car, but guess what? This dude over here, he number 1. He got the Jordans, he got the car, he got the money, and he got the bitches. So first, everybody trying to keep up with you. You got the Jordans in the car, right? So you must have a little bit of money, but you ain't got his money. I'm telling y'all, it's so much philosophy and theory that we can add into this stuff that affects our day-to-day lives and the things that we've seen coming up, and even now as the adults we are. He said you can't have just 1 or 2. Matter of fact, you need both of them. You got to have complete supremacy. You got to have it all. And we hear that shit in our community all the time. But unfortunately, having it all comes with a great cost and sacrifice of life, because the things that we think are all, usually money, it's usually tied to money and sex and a lot of material stuff. And it comes at what cost? A lot of times people are sacrificing their damn soul and mental health. I'm going to let it keep on running.
Daddy knew I think the only reason he accepted my challenge was to prevent me from learning this truth. Now, here, secluded in this holy place, I will defeat you and take both headbands into my possession. You'll here to hand me the number 2 headband, Afro Samurai, so that I may rule the world. I will be God.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
That was for that last sentence. You heard what he said. I'm going to have both headbands. I'm going to rule the world. I'm going to be God. Oftentimes in our community, we're operating in a small ass radius. We're operating within our friend groups, and we've seen people that harm the shit out of each other, either in word or deed, that grew up playing with each other, because everybody got to be number one. Everybody got to be the top. And usually a lot of people get caught up because brothers don't know how to be Ronin, don't know how to not have a quote unquote master. So who does the master become? Money, popularity. And you see a lot of brothers that have no business being over there. That usually be the brother end up getting shot. Right or wrong. Because he ain't have no fucking business being over there. That's not even him. But he gravitated toward that shit because he didn't know how to fucking walk alone. And then sometimes he don't make it back home. And then everybody scratching their head asking, what happened to so-and-so? Why him? He wasn't supposed to be there. Let me pivot to y'all comments real quick. We're going to keep on going. Got another Afro video. Let me keep on going. Got J. Will. Let me see. DG says he love Afro Samurai. Me too, bro. I'm probably going to sit out in the garage and watch it tonight. He says, I really thought they was going to do another season. Yeah. J. Will says, I remember a cartoon called Ronin Warriors. That was my first thought when I saw your title. I remember the Ronin Warriors. I really didn't care for it. Newsflash, yeah, I'm a nerd, but I don't like all anime. I'm very picky about the anime I like. So even some of the more popular stuff I haven't seen. Don't crucify me. Let me keep on going. Yeah, Jay Will says, nah, it's by design. It was by design that this man didn't have a father. We'll get into why in a second. DG says, didn't Samuel L. Jackson play the voice of the guy that hung out with him? He did. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. DG, not the Samuel Jackson part, but the guy that hung out with him. I'm glad you remembered. You brought that up. Salute, J.W.T.H. Peace, bro.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
Again, I got a Jason William. I'm trying to break my habit of saying everybody's government, but y'all see it on the screen when I bring your comments up. But Jason William, that's J. Will. And then I have J. Williams, who's JW. So peace to both of y'all. Let's keep on going. Gail in the building. Gail, I got to hit you up, sis. Appreciate you being in here. Thank you for the support as always.
You go, girl.
Let me see. Let me keep on going. You said Ron Perlman played Justice #1. Yep. Samuel Jackson played Afro Samurai. He did. He also played the other character. I think it was Ninja. Big Smooth in the building. He said, salute. What's going on, good bro?
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Broker Tradition says facts that always happens to the innocent. And sometimes a brother isn't so innocent, bro. He got wrapped up to some shit he shouldn't have been in. He knew it wasn't his normal steez, but he needed the money. But he didn't know how to walk alone. That's why I put the thumbnail up. I used the thumbnail a couple weeks ago when we had technical issues, and I just did it live. So I did want to circle back and reuse the thumbnail. Matter of fact, let's visit that now real quick. And then we're going to get to the second Afro video and tie it in. Bring that music down just a little bit. I know y'all can hear me. You can't see me, but you Afro Samurai. Then I got it, the tags with, hey, these are your friends, relationships, your family, the stuff that we always complaining about, society in general. Of course, money is wrapped up somewhere in that, but that's why I named it the Black Ronin, bro. Can you stand there facing all these things, your friends, your family, your relationships, your society, and even yourself, we'll get into in a second? Can you face all that by your lonely? Can you walk that path of that Ronin soldier? Now, I know I always talk about brotherhood. I know I got y'all wondering, well, Kofa, how can you, be a Ronin and you're always talking about brotherhood? I got you in a second. Stick and stay with me. I promise you it's worth it. But let's go ahead and get into the second Afro Samurai video. This is I forgot the channel, but I pulled it. The guy gives a quick breakdown. There are spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but the movie is still good as shit. Even if you don't like cartoons, there's a lot of action, a lot of slicing and dicing. But he breaks down the movie, and he breaks it down from the aspect of what is known as the greatest samurai to have ever lived, the actual person, Miyamoto Musashi. And he wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings, but that's where he's comparing the Afro Samurai thing to. Again, I told you can take a deeper look at this stuff, especially black men. The reason why I'm saying that, because I know our community will just be entertained, and that's it. We won't think nothing deeper. You can find stuff, any type of media outlet, whether it's the news. If you can find it here on YouTube, you can find it in a book. You can find it in the movies you watch. You just got to open up your mind, open up your eyes, open up your ears, close your mouth, and be able to receive something that's different. Anything that's going to make you think outside the box a little bit, where you can apply it to yourself, please utilize it, brothers. But let's go ahead and get into this video where he breaks down, the first series of Afro Samurai.
So, no small talk this time, right to it. Intense spoiler warning. Afro Samurai. So I've been watching and rewatching this show for a few weeks now. The issue has been that each time I get something different out of the show. I don't mean I take something new away, I mean that the entire show ends up having a new meaning each time I watch it. I didn't think much of it the first time. I thought it was kind of political the second time. I thought that it might be about the cycles of human life the time after that, and then I thought it might represent the 5 stages of grief after that. But finally what I did was I sat down and reflected on the show as a whole, and what I found was that, for my money, this was an anime representation of the Book of Five Rings, the sword instruction book by the legendary Miyamoto Musashi. My reasoning for this isn't terribly complex. There are 5 episodes of Afro Samurai and there are 5 rings. So I theorized that perhaps if the message of each of the rings fits into each episode, I would be correct. So this is my side-by-side comparison of each episode of Afro Samurai and each ring.
I'm going to pause it real quick. That guy in the background with the sash or whatever, or the scarf around his neck. So Samuel Jackson voiced that character is obviously Samuel when you hear him. But when you watch Afro Samurai, that's his foot right there, but he spent so much time alone, he basically developed a second personality. That's that second personality behind him. Totally opposite of who he is and presents to everybody else. But that second personality has to get in his head sometime and tell him, get your ass up, keep on fighting, or calm the fuck down. And he's crazy as shit. You know how, Samuel Jackson can play. But I just wanted to point that out for those that haven't seen the movie or the show, that's that guy in the background. That's also Afro Samurai, but that's his other self. And we all got him, especially the gentlemen, again, focusing on the brothers. Brothers, you got that voice in your head telling you don't take your ass to that damn club. You got a little old man inside you, been giving your ass to straightening for years. A lot of times you didn't listen, but I know the times you did listen, you were glad you did. And that's 2 things about listening. Same way I tell my mentees, not trying to sun anybody. It's 2 things about listening. You're either going to be glad you did or wish you had. Let's get back to the video.
Now, the first episode of Afro Samurai brings us up to date on the story thus far, which tells us of a world where being number 1 is apparently tantamount to being God, and being number 2 means that you can challenge number 1. As the story goes, the previous number 1 and number 2 duel to the death as number 1's son watches. Number 1 seems to have the advantage, but then suddenly... Now, interestingly, this is all the exposition you really need to understand the rest of the story. That kid wants to get that guy for killing his dad. Of course, what we're here for requires deep-seated and complex...
Again, back to the first sentence he said to him. Do you think you not having a father was an accident? That's the guy that took his dad's head off, because that's the world they live in, right? Imagine being a kid and the police come kick in the door and take your dad, or he get pulled over on a humbug, or something does violently happen to him, or he just leaves. Again, I told y'all, just add something different. Can you walk alone without that necessary guidance? Can you be sharp enough in your mind to have it where, hey, I'm going to make it no matter what. And I'm going to do it this way by walking the straight and narrow and training. But let's get back to the video. But yeah, that first guy that said you think not having a dad was an accident, because he's the one that took his dad's head off in front of him. He remembered him from when he was a child. He knew had been looking for him this whole time. Let's keep on going. And that also speaks to, that also speaks to having respect, honor, and duty to respect the name that you have. Respect your bloodline. And put it in bloodline because I changed my name because I didn't want to carry my slave name anymore, and it is what it is. But I respect my bloodline. If anything would have happened to my father or my mother, I would have to avenge them. I still believe in those old type of ways. Somehow, some way, years down the line, that's just Kofa. But I'm going to let it keep on running.
Analysis, so buckle in. Jump ahead a few years and we see that little boy again, wearing the number 2 headband, which makes him a constant target for every manner of warrior, thief, and lowlife. Anyone who wants to get the headband also wants to get that kid, or Afro as they call him now, dead. Okay, listen up. In The Ring of Earth, the first chapter of the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi teaches 3 things. A warrior should know multiple weapons because each weapon has situational advantages. A master of the longsword is unique in that a master isn't simply good at using the longsword, he's a strategist. And that timing is the key to everything. Even beyond combat, in dancing and singing, whatever, timing is the key. So in the same way, I feel like the first episode of Afro Samurai hits these points. Afro is obviously familiar with how other weapons work. He's a master of the longsword, and he clearly has perfect timing. The next book, The Ring...
Pause it right there. I'm going to pause it after each book is explained. But mastering different weapons. Your weapons, black men, let me make my screen a little bit bigger. So your weapons, your patience, who you are, your character integrity, your finances, your friend circle. What tools are you using as a weapon? What things do you have in your life that you can use to your advantage that have you mastered? Some brothers, we love hearing it in this space, Red Pill, the pickup artists and all that shit, talking about talk game. You got to be able to do more than talk to a female. Can you apply that same shit to work ethic? Can you apply that same talk inside of a boardroom? Can you get things done? What tools do you have you mastered as a man to get the job done, to execute? We talked about it the other night. It's not just about applying these things. Can you execute? Let's get to the next book.
of Water is about how a warrior should carry himself, how he should behave spiritually, mentally, and how he should look at things, how strong he should grip his sword with each individual finger, and in combat the sections of an opponent to attack, and in what situation to attack these sections. It also gives examples of several techniques that can be used. However, the most important concept to take away, or at least the one that comes up in the other rings, is the concept of no design, no conception, or munin muso. This means the ability to act calmly and naturally even in the face of danger, and when a man's word and his actions are spontaneously the same. Episode 2 is about Afro's past and how he learned to fight, his first kill and how he became desensitized to violence. However, the important thing to take away is this. When Afro was acting against the principles of the Ring of Water and Munin Muso, he almost gets killed. Jump forward a bit and he is the perfect example of Musashi's ideal warrior. Munin Muso applies wonderfully to his character now. Ring 3 is the Ring of Fire, and it's about combat-specific techniques.
Pause it real quick. Touch on the thing where he was talking about how he got desensitized. Again, I want to point these words out. He got desensitized to violence. How many of us have already been through that? I know if Broken Traditions is in here, he mentioned how he shot somebody accidentally as a kid, and it kind of triggered something in him. And sometimes you have it where it kind of turned people out. Not saying that's BT, I don't think it is. Or it totally desensitizes people, like was just mentioned. Or some people are in fear of. I know somebody that doesn't even like to look at a weapon, and I carry mine with me all the time. So when we hanging out, I got to kind of push it to the side just because I know, and it's a man, it's a guy. He doesn't like guns because of some of the things he's seen. But then you have situations like this where we have so many people in our community that have become desensitized. It's almost like a candlelight visual, t-shirt picture, free my nigga on one side, and then the same thing, a candlelight visual, a t-shirt picture, and a RIP on the other side. Because we've just become desensitized. People are crying, things like that, but it just becomes another life that we lost. What are we going to do? Then we start having them conversation of why is so much violence and things, instead of actually sitting down and looking at the economics of it, looking at the spirituality of it. Because we'll go in there and act religious, but the spirituality, we love to skip over that a lot of times in our community. Just wanted to point that out. Who are you as a person? That book 2 was like, who are you? It went back to his past as a child, not only seeing his father's life taken, but having to take a life himself because now he's on this mission to avenge his father. He's going after the second headband. Remember, you can only challenge number 1, which the guy that murdered his father is number 1. You can only challenge number 1 if you have the number 2. So he's on a mission right now. And we saw that little clip when he was a kid. But like the guy in the video just said, he's been desensitized to it. So it wasn't nothing for him to do that. And the minute he got off his square, he almost lost his life himself. Let's get to, I think it's book 3, Book of Fire, I think he was saying. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Applies wonderfully to his character now. Ring 3 is the Ring of Fire, and it's about combat-specific techniques. However, the principle of the Book of Fire is that a true master understands his opponent's technique and strategy, and I can't think of a better way to emphasize this ring than with Episode 3, where Afro is attacked by a robot that's stronger than him and has been programmed to fight in the same style as Afro. But then suddenly the robot style changes completely and Afro has to adjust. The 4th ring is the Ring of Wind, and it's basic.
Pause it real quick. Did you hear that special word, adjust? Can you adjust? In this part of the film, Afro had been whooping everybody's ass. He'd been standing tall on his own. So what did? They threw something stronger at him that was as good as him, if not better, and had a different style. Are you ready as a man when you're walking alone? We love talking about friends, and I love brotherhood and all that. But sometimes, guess what? You got to respect that your brother got a family. Your brother has an old lady. So it's going to be times somebody doesn't pick up the phone for you. Can you adjust? Have you put so much to the side? I'm not just talking financially. Talk about inside of yourself, integrity, character, perseverance. I'm big on that. Work ethic, where you can get to that next step by yourself. Now they pitted him against this robot that they basically mimic after him. The robot had his style, but it had something extra. Afro had to adjust real quick, had to realize, okay, this is the way I could beat the robot. I'm not going to give y'all that spoiler, but he ends up beating the robot. I'm not going to tell you how he did it, but you know the end result, because he was able to adjust. Now let's keep on going. I think he said book 4, ring 4, the wind.
Just Musashi calling out every other school of swordsmanship. He seems to have a problem with almost every other aspect of every other school. Maybe that's why he made his own school. Episode 4 of Afro Samurai is about Afro fighting a childhood friend and a student of the same school. Also, it flashes back a bit to the past and shows what happened to Afro's old friends and his old teacher. While this Ring episode lineup is easy enough to understand, I think it's worth mentioning that what happens between Afro and his teacher seems to be quite significant to the Ring of Wind also. Finally is the Ring of Void, the shortest.
Pause it real quick. I want to bring it back before we get to that Ring of Void. Wanted to point something out in that one. Now he's having to breathe like a wind. I told you get philosophical, but you can apply it. Now he has to breathe like a wind, right? He had to end up fighting his teacher. This is when the student becomes the master. Then later on in life, he ended up having to fight one of his friends. Plain and simple, blacking it up. Everybody can't go, bro. Everybody can't go. You start separating from your friends. Y'all start looking at things differently. I told y'all I got a group of folks that I love dearly, but we're in different places right now. I've known them my whole life. We're in different places right now, and it's okay. The older I get, the more conservative I get. The older we get, I'm seeing more people become surprisingly more liberal. But it is what it is. Everybody can't go. Again, can you walk alone, dog? because everybody can't go, at least for a period of time. I promise you I'm going to bring it back to the brotherhood. That's always going to be my main topic. But can you walk alone? Just keep on going. Almost done.
Afro and his teacher seems to be quite significant to the Ring of Wind also. Finally is the ring. The last episode of Afro Samurai finishes out the duel between Afro and his buddy from the last episode. And then finally Afro gets his fight with the main villain, Justice. Okay, so a bit complex, but stay with me here.
Pause it real quick. Y'all put on your listening ears. So the guy that knocked his dad's head off, that he been trying to get after all these years, that character's name is Justice. But listen to this breakdown. I told you I'm blacking it up, but let's go.
Why do you think they named him Justice? It's because acting within the realms of regular society, justice seems like common sense, right? Well, Afro is fighting justice exactly the same way Musashi said to objectively look at the morals around us. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. An overarching principle of the Book of Five Rings is that the first four rings form a circle with void making up the points in between, and represents the everlasting continuation and karmic cycle of the world. Afro Samurai kinda does the same thing with its ending. Alright, got it all out. I think it's pretty clear what book I recommend.
Bring it back on me. I like that little quick breakdown of that. The last thing was, why was that guy's name Justice? Even sometimes doing dirt, we feel like we're justified, myself included. You gotta do a little bad so you can do a little good. Be careful of that, because what you consider justice is not always going to be considered justice by the void, as he said, as what's in the book, by society. Again, that's why I put that up there, because those are three things. We can get down to the nuts and bolts and nuances of money and health and everything else, but what we're talking about as a Ronin, can you deal with people? So now, maybe he fell off. Hold on. What happened? Hello? They stopped me? Oh, okay. Because I'm still recording. Damn. It's still recording. It said, Gail said I played the video too long. I stepped up over the fair use guidelines. That's crazy. I appreciate it. I started looking over the comment. It's crazy. Let me see if it, damn. It's still running on my end. It's crazy as hell. But let me see if it popped back up. I appreciate it, bro. All right. Y'all hold on for those still here with me. Gail says, please stand by. She says, I played the video too long, stepped over the fair use guidelines. You should be back up soon, but you'll need to edit parts out or take it down. Oh, JC just texted me, said I'm back. And that's crazy. I wonder what part. Damn, I hate that, man. Because I snatched that from another YouTuber. It should have been fair use, because hell, his shit was up and he didn't use the hell out the video. It didn't have any audio from the movie in there. That's crazy. But y'all say I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Now I'm afraid to play my other goddamn video. Fuck it. We gonna run it. Somebody drop a one if y'all can hear me. Until then, let me go back up to y'all comments. Yep. BT says it's rinse and repeat as far as the violence. And it gets sad, man, and people do get desensitized. And I'm starting to notice people younger and younger are getting desensitized. I used to work with a young man, like that was his answer, was punching people. because of the things he had seen. He was like 6 years old. People get desensitized, man. Can you walk alone? Can you walk alone? Let me see. DG says, Kofa, I didn't know you was an anime fan. Somewhere, bruh. It depends on what it is. It really depends on, like, the Afro Samurai style. I love that. Like Vampire Hunter D back in the day. I love that. Don't kill me, DG. I was not a fan of Dragon Ball Z. Like the big, oh my God, what, and the big eyes popping out. I'm really not a fan of that style. Like the raw gutter, just ugly Afro Samurai style. That shit, that would be my go-to. BT says, I realized that when I went back to New York, my lifestyle is not the same no more as my friends.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
And you start to wonder a while until maybe somebody does take you in. Big Smooth says, damn it, they struck him. DG said, what? Big Smooth said, YouTube ain't shit. Yeah, I said it. Big Smooth says, till next time. I'm back, Big Smooth, if you stuck your head back in the door. Yeah, Gail had dropped that good info. She said, you played the video too long, stepped over the fair use guidelines. You should be back up soon, but you'll need to edit parts out or take it down. Let's see. BT says, damn. Felicia said, yikes. Gail said, we're back. DG says he's here. BT says, you probably got to start over. I kept running on eCam, bruh, so I'm good. My time didn't stop. Gail dropped the one. BT says, never mind. Yep. We back. Okay, I got some ones. Mo on the go, coming in fresh. When I had to start over, they just kicked me off, Mo, and I had to start back over.
You go, girl.
Well, I had to pick up where I left off, so you're coming in like this is the beginning of of the live. Let me see. Okay. DG says, what? Dragon Ball is the best of all times. Hey, man, look. Let me see. DG says, check out Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. Okay, I will. I really will, because you give me some suggestions. I'll let you know what I think. Gail says you may be fine. So if you're in yellow or green after the end of the stream, see if you're in yellow or green after the stream. I already got my hand slapped months ago for a short. They said it was violent, so I'm gonna see. Keel says he's running late. Oh, good, brother. I appreciate you being in here anyway.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
But now I'm scared to play my other video. So I'm going to run it. It's not from a movie. I forgot the guy's name, but they say it in the video. He's explaining the 47 Ronin. So let me give you guys a heads up of the 47 Ronin, like I did with the general definition. So the Ronin is a masterless samurai now. We compared it to Afro samurai running around looking for revenge. I blackened it up. We brought some things together, right? Fatherlessness, friendship, having to fight your own friends. Excuse me. Purpose, duty, honor, those things like that. We're going to dig into those really, really well on this next clip. So this is fair use, in my opinion, from the way I understand it. But we'll see what happens. I'll keep a monitor over here with the link. But this video is, I don't think it's too long, maybe like 5-6 minutes. So we almost done anyway. But again, I'm going to break it down, blacken it up, bring it back home. But let's go ahead and get into this. This is going to be the story of the 47 Ronin.
So 46 of these Ronin.
I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to skip ahead. This is one of those things where they put the end of the video at the beginning, and then they go into an intro, and then they actually start the video. So I'm going to skip ahead to the start of the video. Let me see. Yeah, about right there should be good. So this is the 47 Ronin.
On the 47 Ronin.
The box that you see here is over 500 years old, and this is what samurais would carry their armor into the battlefields with. And then you can see the samurai crests. Each clan, each daimyo had their own individual army of samurais, and each clan had their own individual crests. What's unique about this chain armor? This is over 400 plus years old. But what's really unique and why this is in here is that this is Ronin. See, Ronin is not glamorous, it's torn, it's seen war. You can see that it's been cut, right? It's been shot.
I want to pause there real quick. Notice what he said. Being a Ronin, having that type of armor as a Ronin is not glamorous. You don't have a master. In short, you don't have a house. We jokingly say, I think Obsidian says in the house of Obsidian. I know I say in the house of Kofa. Us Game of Thrones fans, again, nerding out. Us Game of Thrones fans, we'll talk about our own houses, but that's a real thing. That's why they had those family crests and things like that. Plus, I got to work on my own family crest, plus a new logo for G.R.O.W.T.H. That's another story. But he was saying how being a Ronin wasn't glamorous. Yes, they know you're a samurai, but now you don't have a master. You don't have a crew. In short, you don't got nobody that got your back. I get to fuck with you if I want to. So that's what a lot of black men find themselves doing. Again, I ask y'all, can you walk alone when you have to? I'm big on the brotherhood. We'll get into it in a second. Can you walk alone for as long as you need to before you can have that brotherhood, or as you're building the brotherhood, or when you have the brotherhood and they just can't be there for you right then? Can you walk alone? It's not glamorous. They made it look good in movies and TV. It's not glamorous. It's a very ugly road to walk by yourself. Let's keep on going.
So why is this summarized Ronin is because the story of the 47 Ronins, the Shogun wanted to hold this political party, and he wanted the daimyo, which is a warlord, a landlord. So back during that time, if a farmer or a merchant wished to set up a farm or sell stuff as a merchant, then they have to pay the daimyo, and then that land is ruled by the daimyo's private army, which is samurai, and the samurais ruled over those lands by the way of two swords. And this right here, this story is that he tasked the daimyo to host this ceremony. He called all the other feudal lords into the area.
I'm going to read it for those ninja watching. Y'all know I'm not insulting anybody's intelligence. I just try to be fair across the board. Those of y'all that are looking, you can read it. I'm going to read it for you for those ninja watching. It says the daimyo, or the landlord, Asano Naganori, was tasked with setting up a reception for the emperor. In order to do this, he decided to consult with another dude named Kira. In the meeting, each accompanied by their personal counsel, Asano was incessantly mocked and insulted by Kira. The motherfucker was talking shit to him when he invited him to this meeting, provoking Asano and causing him to lash out. He pissed him off. He got sick of that shit. And then he pulled out his sword, which is a big no-no. Big no-no when you come to somebody's home, or you're in the home of the emperor. So the guy kind of knew what he was doing. Unfortunately, Asano fell for it. He was fucking with him to the point that, hey, I'm not going to take too many insults. He drew his sword in the house of the emperor. Now it's a fucking issue. Let's keep on going. They leaving that up on the screen. Maybe I should have.
The 47 Ronin's daimyo drew his sword out of anger, and he was automatically sentenced. He was automatically sentenced as dishonor. But then the shogun.
Let me pause it real quick, bring it back a little bit. The reason why drawing your sword in that house was pretty much an automatic death sentence, because it was the mind state of, we don't know if you're trying to cause a distraction and somebody can take out the emperor, or if you're drawing your sword to take out the emperor. So it was totally like off limits, totally disrespectful. Again, it was a death sentence. So you couldn't do that. Even if you weren't going for the emperor, the fact that you showed your blade in that man's house was a problem, even if it was toward that other dude that had been mocking him. But let's keep on going.
Anger, and he was automatically sentenced. He was automatically sentenced as dishonor. But then the shogun said, okay, I'll give you back your honor if you split your belly open in my courtyard. in the art of sabakyu. So sabakyu is a suicidal ritual where they dig a dagger into their abdomen and then rip it into this side and reinsert the dagger and rip it out this side. That's to retain honor. And people are like, why would you do that, right? Because if you're a samurai, you're born into this noble bloodline. You have the riches, you have the lands, right? You have the status. So if your honor is taken away, your family is ripped away from that status, bloodline and all, generations from there on. So it's within a samurai to hold and retain that honor. So, the daimyo, he split open his belly, and then the shogun said the 46 Ronins, 46 were sentenced to be Ronins. Back during that period in Japan, a samurai is meant to serve, right?
I'm gonna pause it real quick. Make sure I try not to get another hand slap and break this down. When he was just talking about the honor for your family name and the things that man had to do to die honorably, I know it's self-deletion as far as we're concerned. But in order to keep that honor for his family, to keep the land, to keep the property, to keep the wealth, and not be stripped of everything that he has worked for and the men before him, he had to do that. And it was considered to be honorable because he broke the honor code by drawing his weapon. So it was considered to be honorable for him to commit seppuku, what they call it, but self-deletion, so his family could keep that. And that's something that's in the mind of a lot of men a lot of times, just going through pure hell and damn near committing slow seppuku, deleting yourself slowly and surely by going to work these extra hours, overeating, undersleeping. We do a lot of stuff in the name of our family, but keep ourselves healthy. And it's a lot of things that we do that dishonor our own self. And by way of that, we are dishonoring our family. Again, brothers, can you walk alone? Can you stand on that solid path and not be able to be provoked by somebody that's, disrespecting you, and now your honor comes into question? Are you capable of doing that? And I know we've all folded. I done had my blow ups. Y'all done seen my rants on here. Hell, Broken Traditions just had to pull my coat over the weekend about my rant. And you know what? He's fucking right.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So you got to be able to receive instruction. I'm getting into the brotherhood shit in a second. But with that, he was able to maintain his family's honor. Now I want to point out, we'll get back to the video, but I want to point out so many of us as a community don't even see that type of strength and respect and duty and honor within our families, within our own bloodline, because we don't have shit, right? What does it matter if I go out here and act a fool? What does it matter if I'm running around knocking down a whole bunch of women and doing all this crazy shit? What does it matter? My family doesn't have a name for real. My family has no control. And this is why I started taking issue with the conscious community. We always talking about what the fuck we don't have, what the hell white folks won't let us have, what the system gonna take from us. Every time we build something, they come take it. So with that mentality, we don't even start out building shit in the first damn place a lot of times.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Had to go ahead and give myself one on that. Sometimes we don't even start thinking about legacy, because your legacy isn't just where you came from. That's your lineage. What are you starting today? What are you building today? What type of honor are you setting today? Again, been having to have real conversations with my daughter. Not going to get into the details here, but I told her, don't shit on my name. Don't shit on my name. And she know that. We had a good conversation. I'll leave it at that. And there's nothing that she did to make me say that. I just like to get ahead of things. So I want her to know the work that I've put in, it means something to me, and it's going to mean something to her children one day. So again, a lot of times blackening it up, our people see ourselves as not having shit. So what honor does it matter on how I act? This is why we get a lot of these crazy ass women doing this shit. Like I said last night, they know they're recording. They know they're being recorded. If not, hit the record button themselves.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let me get to y'all comments real quick. Auntie, I want you to feel better. I know you said you're in pain. I need you to take your medicine and rest up. Mo, I don't know what this was. Why? I'm not sure. Let's keep on going. Mo says, who thinks reading insults one's intelligence? Sounds dumb and insecure as fuck. Trust me, Mo. I've seen, I've heard that. Even in the military, it's like, so we can read ourselves. No. We're going to read. We're going to go through this because there's certain things. If I'm the instructor, essentially what I am now, I need to break it down. But I know what you're saying, Mo, but it's a lot of people that do take offense to that. Mo says, what in the codependency? Damn sad, scared to risk rebuilding up. Mo says, amen. Yep. Let me see. Mo says, my legacy is in the garbage. Who cares? Nobody. People making fun of MLK even at this point. And again, that mentality is what we got to get out of, Mo. They can say what they fucking want. That man did leave a legacy. But for black men, we cannot keep questioning, what are y'all going to do? What are we going to build? And you're not structuring yourself as a man to get better and get sharper. Again, that's why I titled it A Black Ronin. So black men mostly, not all the time, mostly walk alone, even when we're surrounded by people. Again, Mo, you said you feel like people are even making fun of MLK. Look at all the people that he was surrounded by. We know he left a legacy in his family and the work that he did, right? But look how many people were able to branch off for him and create their own legacies. But then there's the conspiracy theory, CTK, conspiracy theory Kofa. Shout out to Broken Tradition.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
CTK kicking in. How many of those people were in Martin's circle that had something to do with him not being here anymore prematurely? BT, let me get to your, let me see. Oh. See, Auntie, we got you. Broken Tradition dropped a $2 super chat. He said, this is for Auntie Sean. You know what she like. Here we go, Auntie.
These last $2.
Appreciate that, BT. Let me see. BT says, damn, I get a hotter than fish grease from a phone call. Yes, sir.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let me see. Look, Auntie said, how's everyone doing tonight? Auntie couldn't miss this. I'm broke, so nephew gonna have to give me some Johnny Taylor on credit. I got you one more time. BT helped you out, but I got you one more time, Auntie.
These last $2.
Let me see. Yep. Mo says, oh yeah, I still gotta look up FBA. Cool. But went on my little spiel to kind of break down that Ronin thing. We'll get back to it in a second, but let's keep on going through the video. So this is the part again where he's drawing his sword, got to commit seppuku. If he didn't, then his family will lose the land. But let's keep going.
Serves one lord, a daimyo. So when you get cast away from society and you can't serve, that means you can't be a merchant. You cannot be a farmer. You still have to walk with dual swords because by bloodline, by status, you're a warrior class. But
pause it right there again. I'm sorry, but I know this ain't everybody cup of tea. I see how my numbers look. It's all good. This ain't everybody cup of tea, so I'm gonna blacken it up. He's that samurai, even though he doesn't have a master, everybody still knows he's a samurai because of his status. But he's a Ronin now, but he still has to walk around with two swords. You ever heard somebody say, that's so-and-so's boy? I know he can do X, Y, and Z. He can play football. His daddy used to dress like that. His daddy used to drive something like that. So because these samurai's master is gone, now they're walking around aimlessly. They have the bloodline, but they no longer have the status. They're not important anymore. All of their land has been taken. So again, they have nothing. How are they going to bounce back from it? Because everybody is noticing this. And again, like he just said, you're a samurai, or you used to be. You can't be no fisherman. You're not finna take this guy's job. You can't be a farmer. You can't just be some merchant peddling. So let's keep on going. Uh-oh.
Because you don't serve anybody, you're a Ronin. And that's very disgraceful back then because you have no master, you're unemployed. Right, so these Ronins, right, they swore an oath to each other, the clan, that they will return in 1 year and they will revenge the death of their daimyo. So,
do y'all hear the brotherhood? This is where I said I was going to put the ball on it. This is the brotherhood. Even though they're all individually Ronin, that's why it's the story of the 47 Ronin. Even though they're individual Ronin, they have freedom to go off and do everything they own. They took a vow to each other. They still took a vow of brotherhood. Let's keep on going.
These Ronins, they basically became bums. Some became drunks, right? And what happened was the daimyo employed spies to see if these Ronins were walking the Bushido code. Are they going to take back revenge? But what the spies report is they lost their way. But in actuality, these bums were doing reconnaissance. They were looking at the walls, the length of the walls, the ladders they need to build. They're studying the patterns of life, the timing, right? The guards. When was the daimyo returning? When was he leaving? What is the pattern of life for that year? Within that year, they returned back and they executed one of the most successful assaults to date.
Pause it real quick. 47 Ronin, get this.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Now, did y'all hear that? Because Mo had put up Mo in here talking shit today. It's all right, sis.
You go, girl!
Mo says Ronins, a.k.a. Scrubs. Scrubs is nowhere close to what these guys were. They were still samurai, still had their skills, but they just were unemployed. They didn't have a job, right? Because that's all they were allowed to do. That was the bloodline they came from. But notice what he said. They some of them turned into bums intentionally. It looked like they were bums. They still were well-read, well-educated, still skilled, all that. So the guy that was worried about them coming back seeking revenge, they cast him out after he had their leader self-delete itself, the feudal lord or whatever. He sent out his own spies. Hey, go watch so-and-so and make sure they not gearing up. But those guys, they made a pact. Again, the brotherhood. They didn't have to be around each other all the time. Because had they stayed in close quarters, everybody, well, the Lord would have known, hey, they making a plan. They're trying to come back. They made a pact. They went their separate ways. Some went with a couple of guys. Some went by themselves. They were all Ronin. So nobody thought anything of it, of this guy walking around without a master. By then, everybody done heard the news. But that pact they made as a brotherhood, a year from now, we're going to come back together and get this shit right. We're going to get revenge. So they was able to walk alone in brotherhood. There is a such thing. There is a such thing as a lone wolf theory. Yes, because Kofa considers himself to be a lone wolf. I'm a pack of one, as I say. But I still have people on my team that fuck with me. Again, broken traditions. He pulled my coat on my rant last week for a good reason. Pointed out some shit that was in my blind spot.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So your brotherhood, brothers, matters. I'm not saying this be the Black Ronin all the time. I'm asking you, can you handle it when you are? Know where your brotherhood is. We'll get back to the video in a second, but know where your brotherhood is. They made a pact, went their separate ways. This guy got people looking at them like, hey, are they making a plan? His spies come back and tell him, no, they're bums. They lost their way. What do we hear about black men all the time? Whether it's passport bros, the average day-to-day black man, especially if he don't have a certain job, if he don't make a certain amount of money, what do we hear? He's dusty. He's broke. He ain't shit. He lost his way. Isn't that what this sounds like? It's so many different comparisons across history that men have gone through that we can apply to today if brothers would just take their time and think about it. Go ahead and get back to the video. I'm going to let it run, so I might have to run it back, but I'm going to let it run, and then I'm going to read it while it's running.
Damn.
So in 1702, after the Kira spies reported that there were no revenge plot, 47 Ronin gathered for their carefully planned attack. Again, while they were out there bummy, they were planning and plotting and talk when they needed to. You ain't got to be up under your boys all the time. Just make the plans and execute. Back to the reading. They ensured that no harm would come to anyone who was not involved, sparing all of the neighbors and other helpless people. Finally, the drum was sounded to start the attack. They ensured we only need to get who we need to get. Again, how many times is so many black men that have truly lost their way, where they got some type of street beef or they pissed off at one person and they go in there and they just spray the crowd, shoot up a house, shoot up a building, shoot up a car. On and we see it all the time. Again, they cannot stand on their own. And the men that they're with, the guys they're surrounded by, it's 5 of them in the car and all of them lonely. It's 5 men in the car, I'm going to say it again, and all of them are lonely. Not one of those men can stand by themselves. That's why they're exercising little boy ass groupthink and some shit goes left. Can you stand alone when you need to, bro? Do you actually have a brotherhood? Where's your 47? Not a number wise, but you know what I'm saying. Where's your 47? Let's keep on going.
So they were able to scale the walls. They executed the guards. They got to the daimyo. They cut his head off, and then they walked back to their daimyo's grave site, and they set the head into their daimyo's tomb to retain their honor, because they served their lord unto death.
Duty, honor, loyalty. I know I keep stopping. It's for a reason. I want to drive this point home. The guy they swore a year ago to get revenge from, they got. 47 of them launched one of the greatest military attacks in fucking history because they had a goddamn plan and they were patient. They weren't emotional. Brothers, pay attention to this story. There's a movie about it. Keanu Reeves was in it. 47 Ronin came out some years ago. It was cool. It's been retold several times. One of the black and white movies is one of the best in my opinion. But it's been told so many times, but it's an actual story. But they were able to take this man's head and then they took it to their lords. The guy that had to kill himself a year earlier, they took it to his grave site. They were loyal to that man beyond the grave. Where's your 47, bro? Let's keep on going.
Then they walked back to the shogun's home. The shogun was so taken back that they were in prison roughly like 30 days, right? They were in prison because he did not know what to do with them because, look, it was during peacetime Japan. War stating period was over. Tokugawa shogunate brought peace to Japan. So samurais during that period forgot what it means to be samurai, forgot what it means to be warrior. And these 47 Ronins,
I'm sorry, y'all. Again, there was peacetime. The other samurais out there, they forgot what it was to be a man. They forgot what the fuck it was to be a samurai because shit was going so good.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Things had got so good, and this is what we do in our community all the time. I told y'all I'm going to blacken it up. I didn't say your ass was going to like it. This is what we do in our community. When the Montgomery brawl, the bump and the gump, as I called it, the riverboat brawl, black folks was happy as fuck for a week, went right back to killing each other. What the fuck did we build off of? What the fuck do we do this all the time? Shit got good to us. We got real lax. Same thing with the 47. Everything went good for about a year while they was plotting and planning. And samurai forgot what it was to be a goddamn samurai. They didn't fucking forget. They kept their oath. Where's your 47, bro?
They basically displayed what Bushido was, to follow on their lord unto death, to serve one's lord, no matter what, even if your honor is taken away from you. See, that's the significance with this story, is that it took place after war staying Pierce Japan, when samurais forgot what it meant, when a warrior forgot what it meant to be a warrior. You know, and these Ronins reminded them, honor unto death. Nobody can take your honor, only you. So the Shogun finally came up with his decision. He says, I will retain your honor. I will give you back your honor, you Ronins. You will be samurai, but you're going to split your belly open in my courtyard. So 46 of these Ronins did that. As the sakura bloomed, the cherry blossom bloomed in the courtyard of the emperor, 46 split their bellies open. The 47th was left alive because he was the son of the leader to tell the story of the 47 Ronins. So this is very Ronin, that's why it's in this room.
I want to say a massive thank you.
Bring it back on me. There we go. Where your 47 at, bro? Let me get to y'all comments. DG says, Kofa, it's amazing how feudal Japan, it seems everybody had a job to do for the good of the country. And that was like that even back in Africa, the Middle East. That's just very old world. I'm working on a series where I'm going to start comparing some of the older stuff to what's going on now. Because I'm really in the space where I'm trying to, excuse me, y'all, where I'm trying to simplify my personal life. So that's the path I'm on right now, is trying to simplify some things. So I want to start doing a series on that, but we'll get to that another time. But yeah, DG, that was the old world in general. Mo says, Ronin is a guy who can't get no love from me, hanging in his best friend's rickshaw, trying to holler at me. Go away, Mo. Shut the hell up. Mo says, oh, Ronins were the first Sigmas. No, Ronins were married. Ronins had families. Again, you just heard the guy say that, damn it, that this guy's son, that one of the Ronin's sons was the 47th, but they left him alive so he could tell the story. So that's another piece of respect that you guys may not have caught. So when the daimyo, when the head emperor caught them after they killed the other guy, and it was during a time of peace, he had them locked up for 30 days, confused as shit, because he didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, damn, it's honorable. They're still samurai, but they don't have a master, so they really don't have to be loyal to the master. But I gotta do something because it's peacetime. What the fuck? So because they had already been labeled as Ronin, they were allowed to keep their honor if they committed seppuku. But he respected what the fuck they did and keeping their, what we call military bearing. When they kept their military bearing as samurai, that he left one of them alive, the youngest, one of the guy's sons, so he could tell that story, so the story could be told throughout history. And here I am on the 22nd of August, 2023, 322 years later, telling this story. Ain't that crazy?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let me keep going. DG says the movies you mentioned were on HBO Max. I appreciate it, brother. DG says that guy must be a descendant of one of the ones that was left. No, so he has a like a tactical channel. God, I cannot remember that guy's name. But he has a tactical channel. I looked at a couple of his videos. I think it's called like The Way of the Ronin or something. It has Ronin in it. But he's a tech guy. I think he was special forces. I think he was talking about how he struggled with addiction for a while. So he like basically made his comeback, got his body right, and you know, this one of the things he does now is kind of talk history. Let me keep on going. BT says it was less than a week, but I digress. When was it? Was that Thursday? No. I had my rant last Tuesday, BT. I think it was last Tuesday. I think I chopped it up and put the video out on like Wednesday or Thursday. So it's been a solid week, I think. And we're gonna keep on going, man. But yeah, though, that's all the clips for tonight, y'all. Let me do this one more time. I want to make sure y'all see it. So again, Growth merch, y'all see up here at the top. Growth Talk merch. Oh damn, can you see it? Let me bring it down some. Maybe I need to shrink it. I don't know what it's doing. Let me get my ugly ass out the way. My computer is tripping. It does not want this on the screen. I don't know why. Well, anyways, y'all. The link is in the description. It is Growth Talk merch. And y'all can see I got I got 6 products up right now. So slowly building. The most of the hoodies are either going to be black. Well, they're all either going to be black or the heather gray. Those are the 2 hoodies I want to stick with. I'll get to the more colors later on. But you see you got the Wake Your Glass Up mug as well. Come back over here, bring it back on me. Just wanted to make sure I got that in again. Oh, you said not the rant, the bump and the gump? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Now I get what you're saying, BT. So yeah, it was less than a week, but I digress. And we being broken tradition, we're talking about that. Hey bro, we just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Everybody's so happy and sharing the memes and doing all the folding chair videos and things like that. And it was by the middle of the week. It was what, like Tuesday, I think we was at Hefe, we was smoking, and boom, there it was. Alboski says, oh, y'all can see it. I was good. Maybe I was moving around too much, but I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, y'all, I like to pivot. I could talk about the women all day. Y'all know I can go in on that. And then the internet is what it is. The interwebs is what it is. They just keep on giving us ammo. All the red pill content that you want to make is on TikTok and IG and Twitter, on social media, period. And hell, I'm starting to look at the real news. I'm going to get back into that too as well and start giving y'all some of these stories. I was watching Snap today, and Jesus, it's some crazy ass women out there, crazy ass married women out there, because everybody seem to think that's a fix. It's some crazy ass women out there, y'all.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
I was watching Snapped. I'm going to leave it at that. I got to talk about some of these cases because I really don't think a lot of people know about some of these circumstances that are happening where men are being deleted and everybody just think it's a accident. But not going to get on that. But I did have to pivot tonight, get a little bit deeper, talk about being a black Ronin. Brothers, can you stand on your own when you got to? Where's your 47? Where's your brotherhood? We talked about Afro Samurai and fatherlessness. What friends? Again, where's your brotherhood? Purpose. I'm in my notes. Being desensitized to violence. Things that we have in our community, the desensitization, fatherlessness, all these negatives. But when it comes to being able to adjust, honor, duty, looking at your bloodline like something other than a family reunion. Challenge some of y'all brothers. Go online, get a pen and pencil, a piece of paper, whatever, and dabble a family crest. What's a symbol that means something to you? That bird right there, that O in Kofa, that's my logo. That's not just my logo for Growth Talk. That's my logo for my family crest, which I'm still working on. But one is coming. It matters to me. My bloodline matters. You're going to have different names, different marriages, things like that, but your bloodline matters, just like the Ronin. Even when they lost their job, people knew who the fuck they were, because I still got to walk around with these 2 swords. You're going to know that I had some type of status. Whether or not you want to try me, another story. Whether or not I can get a job, another story. Whether or not I become a mercenary. Some of them ended up becoming what we know as a ninja. Not just those 47. That's the most famous story. But it was a lot of other Ronins out there that just had to wander the countryside. And they weren't as scrubs as Mo joked earlier. These brothers had families. They had property. They had land. Again, brothers, can you be that black Ronin and walk by yourself and still make a living? Where's your brotherhood? Can you keep your status as a warrior, as a samurai? What are you building toward? I can sit up here all night and we can get deep. Let me keep on going. Gail, drop that link for the growth merch. I appreciate you, sis. BT says, yep, it was the following Tuesday. DG says Snap still comes on. You know what I think it does? I think some new episodes. So I was watching Snapped and Deadly Women. My God, the gift that keeps on. It's some crazy ass women out here. DG says, is that a phoenix? The bird, DG? No, it is not. It is a Sankofa bird. So now y'all know my first name. Sankofa. But everybody struggling saying Kofa. So I know you can't say Sankofa or Sankofa. But it's Kofa. That's a Sankofa bird. If y'all go look, you'll see the symbol. I just had somebody design something different. So that bird is basically, again, speaking legacy, the bird is reaching backwards to get the egg, the youngin, and bring it forward. Or reaching back to teach the youth. That's the symbolism. That's what Sankofa means. In order to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been. So when y'all hear me talk about stuff like this, history, I changed my name for a reason. Like this is me. This is me. So I hope everybody enjoyed the night. I know it's a pivot from, the quote unquote norm, but my focus is building men over here. Again, it's in the title, Gentlemen Reaching Our Wealth Through Healing. I'm all about the brothers here. Sisters, more than anything else, you are welcome. You know you're welcome. We engage, we joke, all that, but the group of brothers over here, we got y'all. The same way we expect y'all to have us when we go to your platforms or when we're just engaging in general. But them hood boogers, I don't think y'all like them any more than we do. Let me keep on going. That DG said that toothpick rant was legendary. Salute. Big Smooth says, good talk, Kofa. I appreciate y'all, man. We getting ready to get up out of here. I enjoyed this, man. I'm probably getting ready to go watch Afro Samurai right now and smoke one in the garage and enjoy the rest of my evening, get up and head into the office in the morning. But I'm back tomorrow, y'all. I did promise y'all a show on an off day while Broken Traditions is out. So I'm going to go on at 7:30 tomorrow, talk about this Fresh and Fit thing. So I'm going to post that. Y'all make sure y'all in here at 7:30 tomorrow, and then we right back in it again at 7:30 on Thursday. But tomorrow is Fresh and Fit. I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents. We may not be on that damn long. I know I always say it, but we may not be because I really wasn't paying them motherfuckers no attention. Half the damn information I'm getting on them, I'm just now finding out this week. Tis what it is. But y'all wanted me to talk about it, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to put some Kofa-ism on it. Again, I appreciate everybody being in here. Take what I said tonight into consideration with being a black Ronin. I appreciate all you brothers. As always, you matter. You're not crazy. Make better choices. Peace.